Hi, I'm Christian Brindle, and welcome to the Everything Medicare Podcast. What's up, Everything Medicare Podcast Nation? This is Christian Brindle. Wherever you are and however you might be listening to me today, I hope you're doing well. Whether you're quarantined, whether you're not quarantined, whether you're inside or outside, doesn't make a difference to me, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 175 of the Everything Medicare Podcast. Every single week, I bring you 3 podcast episodes where we discuss your Medicare, your Medicaid, your Social Security, and everything that has to do with that golden age called retirement, folks. This is going to be a very interesting episode and a very interesting topic because, in case you didn't hear, the government passed a bill known as the stimulus bill. It was passed. It passed all the different branches, all the different people that needed to take a look at it. It passed. To be specific about the stimulus bill, my friends, the stimulus bill is over $2 trillion in funding, both to individuals and to businesses alike, different industries, so on and so forth, folks. And the biggest question that I've been getting is, will people on Social Security still be able to get stimulus checks because they're getting their Social Security checks, right? I mean, people on Social Security, for the most part, are retired. People, for the most part, on Social Security are not in a position where, they're kept from working or so on and so forth. Their Social Security checks are still going to be coming. So will they still be getting stimulus checks? Well, today I'm going to answer that, folks. And one thing that you got to keep in mind that I think is being lost in the fray here, there's a lot of different sides to the coin as far as the stimulus bill is concerned. There's people that think the businesses need more help. Of course, the businesses think they need more help. There's people that think the businesses should just be allowed to, sink to the bottom of the ocean, if you will. My approach to this is very simple. I think that we're all losing sight of the real issue here. And the real issue is, in order for the government to send out $2 trillion, guess what they have to do? They have to turn on their printer. They have to plug in their printer. They have to make sure it's got tons of that special paper that prints the money on, and they need to hit print. Leave it on all night and come back in the morning. This money is not just lying around. This is money that the government's going to be printing. Printing money, folks. What happens when they print money? Well, what happens when they print money is inflation is sped up. Especially to this degree, inflation is sped up, which means the value of all of the dollars that you and I both have right now just became less important and less valuable. Remember, what is the definition of inflation? The definition of inflation is this, folks. The definition of inflation is when more of a certain currency is put out into the marketplace. This is my definition. It is less valuable. The existing pieces of currency are less valuable than they were before because there's more of something, right? The more of something that is available, the less high of demand there is for it, right? So let's say there's a really fancy car that came out. And let's say there are only 100 models of this car made in the year. Is that car going to be more valuable than a similar car that has 1 million copies made? You better believe it is, because there's more scarcity around. The more you make of something, the less valuable it is because It's not special. You can get it anywhere. And the more dollar bills are floating around in our world, the less valuable each dollar bill becomes because there's more of it available. The more they print money, the more the value of the money goes down. This is something we need to talk about. That being said, should the government have done this? I'm not going to say they should or shouldn't or whatever the case might be. I'm not here to argue about that, but it's something to keep in mind. It's a difficult situation. I completely understand why they did it. Whether you thought they did it the right way, the wrong way, in between, doesn't really matter to me. Today, we're going to be talking about if you're going to be getting stimulus checks if you're drawing off Social Security. I'll answer that for you after take a quick break. Stay right there. Be right back in section 2, and we'll unveil the answers to this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks so much for sticking with me through that break. Now, let's get into this stimulus bill. So, I'm looking at an article on clicktohouston.com, but I saw another one that was by AARP, and I just am having trouble finding it, but I saw that one earlier. But basically, the title of this article, it was put out on March 27th, very recently after the stimulus bill was passed. Social Security recipients can expect a stimulus check is the title of the article. U.S. citizens who receive Social Security benefits can expect to get a stimulus check, according to many reports. The proposed bill includes language that allows Americans receiving Social Security, many of whom are retired and don't file taxes, to obtain direct financial assistance through the coronavirus stimulus package, according to Fortune magazine. To determine their rebate, beneficiaries' data will be accessed by the government through the Social Security Administration. Under the $2 trillion stimulus package, those who qualify will receive the following amounts. And so basically, from my understanding, the Social Security checks that people that draw off Social Security are getting factor into their income level. So if they get more income from Social Security from businesses they run, or if they still work, it's all kind of factored together to determine need. It's not to say that the Social Security checks are not going to factor into the income level to determine if you get a check or not. So that's important to know. Under the $2 trillion stimulus package, those who qualify will receive the following amounts. The article continues to say, $1,200 for a single adult who did not make more than $75,000 according to their filed 2019 taxes, or for married couples that filed jointly, $2,400 who do not make more than $150,000 according to their 2019 taxes. Parents will receive $500 for each child under 17 years old. Unemployed adults can receive an additional $600 per week on top of state benefits for 4 months. Wow. So basically, folks, you can still get it if you're drawing off Social Security. It just depends on your total amount of income that should show up on your 2019 tax returns, assuming that you filed it. Everything that I've heard said that if you did not file yet your 2019 tax returns, it might slow the process down. Lucky for me, I always file it first week of February every single year for myself, my business. I want to get it done. So this is kind of what you can be expecting. Now, when can we expect the stimulus check? Nobody seems to really know that yet as I talk to you about this. Keep this in mind that they're still figuring this out as they go. This is unprecedented. They've never done anything quite like this before in the history of the United States, at least to this level. They've done, the George W. Bush stimulus bill. But that was not even close to the level that this one is. This is a $2 trillion stimulus bill, folks. Very, very interesting. Very, very scary if you think about it, because for the government to do this, it must mean they feel like it's incredibly necessary. I know there's a lot of people out there that lost their jobs. They could not continue working. Maybe they are still employed by their job, but their job just can't have them at work anymore. Small businesses are hurting. Restaurants can't be open. Grocery stores are probably doing pretty well still, but malls aren't doing so well. There's a lot of businesses that are hurting pretty hard from this hit. And I hope if you're listening, you're not one of them. As always, folks, thanks so much for taking the time to listen. I mean, I'm sorry that the episodes have been shorter the last couple of weeks or so. With everything that's going on with the coronavirus and having to film these episodes from home, just makes it tough. We don't have our usual staff. We don't have our usual equipment. So we're going to keep bringing you episodes as much as we can, as often as we can. So I appreciate your support. Hope you got something positive out of this episode. We'll be back with you with another episode on Saturday. We're not breaking schedule no matter what happens. Take care. Stay healthy. I'll talk to you next time.